Alright, we're going.
Welcome to Multimedia Club cast. It's me, your boy.
Every time.
It's gonna be every time. I think that's my thing now.
I mean, it has been requested.
Yeah, that's right. So email us if you have any other requests that we should do.
Speaking of email.
Speaking of email. Okay, today is going to be a weird episode. There's going to be A, no music of the week. B, no movies of the week. And I'll explain the music of the week right now, and we'll explain the no movies of the week later on.
C, we're just canceling the podcast.
Yeah, no podcast. So thank you for listening to this episode. I should just upload that, 40-second clip.
That'd be great.
The reason we're doing no music of the week is we're not talking about music this week. I know I said I had a big analysis on the Death Grips album, and I know we had another album that we're going to talk about, but I'm seeing what it looks like when we don't do any music, just as a test. This is an experimental episode.
This is our prog rock episode.
Right, this is our prog pod episode.
Prog pod? Good.
Yes. The reason being, there's a lot of movie stuff to talk about. We're in Oscar season, and the nominations just came out today.
And I had an Oscar Mayer Wiener this morning, so I'm ready to go.
Perfect. And, so yeah, that's basically it. We're just going to start off with the emails. Go. We have 4 did you say?
We have 4, and that's including a Google announcement saying that your account may be invaded. So we're going to read them all.
You should read that one. You should read that one too.
Sadie. Hi, Sadie. We know you. Colin and Josh. I know I didn't email you last week like I said I was going to, but in my defense, I had a metric fuck ton of college orientation activities I was running around between. Good luck. Yeah. But on the topic of Dennis Vindaloo. Yeah. You know I love his name. Have you guys seen his French language movies? Polytechnique? Especially, it's fantastic. I love reading live. It's my favorite.
I know there's one that looks like it's pronounced Incendies, but it's Insonde or something like that. I don't know. Is that on the list?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't even know if that's by Dennis Villeneuve. It might be by somebody else.
God, I love pronouncing names and foreign things. Very similar to Von Sant. I hate you.
I don't even know if I'm right about that. That just sounds correct. I don't know.
It's very similar to his movie Elephant, in my opinion. Sadie. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Next one.
I actually think we should go back and look up some of Denis Villeneuve's earlier movies. And for the record, I know it's Denis Villeneuve, but I decided I'm going to call him Denis Villeneuve.
Dude, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
We should go back and watch some of his older movies for sure. I for sure will. So thank you for the recommendation.
And keep them coming.
Yes.
Please. Dear God, please. Next up is Cav. We know you as well. Yes. I have an idea for a podcast main topic. Favorite unrated movies. All caps.
Unrated movies?
Unrated movies.
Huh.
But don't talk about it now, because if you do, please have me on. I have some good shit for this shit, boy. Please kill me in parentheses and bye y'all. So
that sounds like something Cav would write.
It certainly does. We'd love to have you back on, and if we do, we will definitely be covering that topic then.
Yeah, unrated as in the movie rating, they were not rated.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought she meant underrated.
Oh no, unrated.
Unrated.
Okay. Too much sexy or too much violence.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Right.
I haven't seen very many of those, to be honest with you. I mean, I think I have, but I can't remember any. So yeah, that's an interesting topic, and if we'll have you back on, and we can talk about that.
All right, and here's one from Google Alert.
Oh, right. Our favorite fan.
This Multimedia Club cast, new device signed in, blah, blah, blah. Your account has just been signed in. You might be in danger of... Yeah, no, I don't think that's for us.
No.
Nope.
That doesn't say
Good.
Yeah.
All right, after that we got Roberto. Roberto says in his very lengthy email, talk about the Armor operations. I hate...
Nominate?
I hate...
Talk about the Oscar noms?
Yeah, I hate it.
Is that all it says?
Yep.
Okay. We actually, before...
God, English is hard. I hate this.
You're worse at speaking English than Roberto, and he's like, English is his second language.
And you know what? That's okay.
That's true. I was in the spelling bee when I was a kid. Fun fact, when I was in the spelling bee, one of the words, in like the actual like competition that would like determine whether or not we'd make it into like the district spelling bee, my last word was ruddy. Which is my last name, if you don't know.
I'm
Fun
so
fact.
glad that transferred great.
Yeah,
To people who don't know your last
most of the
name.
people who watch this don't know my last name. My name's Colin Ruddy, and that is like the best moment of my childhood because it was just literally I was so nervous, and then like the judge that like got the random word, they just started laughing, and I was like, what? They had to decide, like they said that had literally never happened to them, like the spelling bee judges, that had literally never happened where a student gets their last name to spell.
That's fantastic.
And they weren't sure what to do. They were like, do we count it? Like, obviously he knows how to spell his last name. And I think ultimately they just let me do it. So I probably got into the district spelling bee unfairly.
Yeah.
Because I cheated the system unknowingly. Anyway, funny story. Back to Roberto's email. Before we read the emails, we were planning on talking about the Oscar nominations for like this whole episode, so we will do that.
We will. That's this episode.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You got your wish.
So that's emails. Even though we're not doing music, we should acknowledge, or you can acknowledge that...
Oh, right. Music. So we're saving that for next week. We have listened to Car Seat Headrest Twin Fantasy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give just a quick one word review so far. Intriguing. How about you?
Bad. So we can expand on that next.
Alrighty.
Not bad, not my thing. So we can expand on that next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, that'll come with Death Grips, and then I also want to do a segment of video games next week, actually. So that should be fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. But let's get on with this.
What have you watched lately, man?
Do you want to start with... Actually, I'll start with the less obvious ones. I watched the first Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
And the Lego Batman. And the first Pokemon movie, I still have such nostalgia for it. I loved it as a kid. As an adult, the dub's terrible. And it's like... nothing gets accomplished. And it's kind of pointless. It's all just kind of like visuals. And like emotional moments that make no sense. So it's not an objectively good movie. But come on, man. It's the first Pokemon movie. I mean, like, I grew up with that. You can't, like...
So when the opening comes on, you're just like, boo-doo-doo!
Yeah.
And you're just ready to go?
When Ash fights that random, like, trainer, and, like, the theme song comes on, like, I wanna be the very best. I was like, oh, wow, this is bringing me back so hard, and...
Well, and that's the one with Mew and Mewtwo, right?
Yeah. It's, I think it's, the full title is Pokemon, the First Movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, or something like that. It's like a long title.
Gotcha.
And Mewtwo's super weird, and is, like, his motivation is weak, and he, like, flip-flops so easily.
He's like,
I'm gonna kill everybody, and then he sees one emotional event, he's just like, I misunderestimated humanity, I'm a good guy now. And before, his plan was, I'm gonna kill all humans, not only just all humans, I'm gonna kill all Pokemon too, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
And then he sees a bunch of Pokemon cry, and he's like, oh, okay, no, never mind.
I mean, if I was Mewtwo, I'd probably do the same thing.
I suppose. Also, When I was a kid, I thought the fact that Pokemon, like Pikachu's tears, or like all the Pokemon's tears, like brought Ash back to life. I thought that was so cool as a kid. As an adult,
Oh, it's so stupid.
where did that come from?
Nowhere.
Like that doesn't even make sense in the logic of Pokemon.
No, it makes absolutely no sense ever.
It's so weird. Like,
And I mean, that's the thing they did a lot
right.
with kids' movies. Like, that's a trope.
I'm gonna turn
Like,
this off.
when somebody cries on somebody who's, like, asleep, dead, unconscious, frozen in a block of Titanite shards,
Yes.
and they just cry, and it's like, oh, they're better now.
Yeah. Right. Tears
It's
cure all ills.
It's the magic of being sad inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the magic of being sad inside, I saw the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Was it Darkness?
Yeah.
With no parents?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen it?
No, I heard it was alright.
It's a mixed bag because it's way funnier than the Lego movie was. Like, seriously, it's very, very funny. The Lego movie, I liked it for reasons other than the humor. The humor sometimes landed and sometimes I was like, okay, this is for kids. It's not really for me. This movie feels more like the humor is aimed towards the adults because there is references that kids will not get.
Oh.
Like, and there's a lot of references, but the flip side of that is the humor is mostly just references. There's a couple jokes that don't rely on references that are okay, but like 80% of the humor is just references.
Alright.
So, if that's the kind of thing that bothers you, then you may find the humor a little annoying, but if you don't mind just like fun references, it's a good time. Also, like as far as a movie goes, like as far as like a message for kids and whatever, it's not as good as the Lego movie. Like the Lego movie's kind of brilliant if you think about it. This is just kind of like cheap entertainment. So,
Alright. Yeah.
yeah, funnier than the Lego movie, but not as good as the Lego movie, I'd say. Yeah, that's about it.
Alright. Cool.
Uh,
Want to talk about something we both watched?
yeah,
Alright.
we both watched The Phantom Thread.
It was an
It was an
I am
of-
having a long day, man. It's not
Finally,
okay.
you can be the one that can't speak. I'm always the one that can't
It's
speak.
a marvel. It's phenomenal.
Phantom Thread is
Fantastic thread is
fantastic. It's Phantasmagoria.
has Phantasma in it.
Has Captain Phasma in it. That scene where Daniel Day-Lewis is making the dress and it gets ripped because Captain Phasma like shot it.
Shoots it.
That was so out of place. I don't even know what Paul Thomas Anderson was thinking. But no, it was pretty good.
Alright, great, good, God.
Alright. Phantom Thread is not better than There'll Be Blood,
But
it's definitely almost as good.
I think it'll be more widely liked.
Do you think so?
I do.
I feel the exact opposite way.
Really?
I feel like this movie's way more like niche than There'll Be Blood.
Really?
Because like we were talking about, this movie's way flatter than There'll Be Blood.
It is.
A lot more dull. Like in There'll Be Blood, like people die. Like there's a body count in There'll Be Blood. Like it's exciting. This isn't really what I'd call exciting. It's just interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, I also think that this was marketed to be kind of that dull, boring, and I think it was more exciting than the marketing made it out to be.
Well, yeah, no, like it's like, you know, when I like movies that are dull, I don't like them because they're dull. A movie has to be interesting despite being slow.
Yeah.
This movie has moments that unfortunately I would call, it gets a little dull at times. Like it's not like every scene has something engaging about it. A lot of times it's just kind of visuals and it just kind of moves very slowly. There'll Be Blood, like every scene there's something to keep you engaged. This is kind of it's a way more lazy of a movie. Not lazy in like quality, but it's just like in pacing. It moves kind of lazily along.
The way I see it, I think it'll do well with the general populace, more due to the fact that, you know, it is slower, but it's less bizarre. there's less just weirdness going on between people.
You could bring your like grandparents to see this, and There Will Be Blood is like, I don't know if I'd bring my grandparents to that.
Well, so my measurement for this is always to determine whether my parents would want to see it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they hated There Will Be Blood. They will never want to watch that again. This, on the other hand, I could see them actually going and watching this.
All right, fair enough.
And not coming out saying this was awful, you know? Mm-hmm. Sure, they'll both say it was slow and kind of boring, but I don't think they'll say it's awful.
One thing I noticed that could help for certain people, it's a lot less morally gray than There Will Be Blood. I mean, There Will Be Blood's not even, like, morally gray. It's just, like, everybody's a terrible person in some way or another.
Yeah.
In this, the two main characters are pretty terrible people, but it's, like, it's a little more wholesome, you know? like weird stuff happens in this movie, and there's like, it gets disturbing.
Yeah.
Just not that disturbing. Not There Will Be Blood disturbing. Not like Daniel Day-Lewis's I Will Drink Your Milkshake disturbing. It's like it's a little more palatable. It's like weird disturbing character revelations done in a more palatable way.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, is I think this is going to be more palatable, so therefore most people, I think, will get along with this better.
Fair enough, yeah.
Should we go to movies that I've seen? And
one more thing I want to say about Phantom Thread. Although, actually, I'm going to keep this brief, because we're going to talk about Phantom Thread more throughout the episode, because we're talking about Oscar talk, so... the score was amazing.
Yes.
Very, very rarely is there, like, a theme from a score that just gets stuck in my head. But for me, it's the piano thing that's in the trailer at the end. Like, oh, that's so haunting. I love it. I've been, like, listening to it. So, yeah, great score. The music's amazing.
Yeah,
it was done by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah. Orchestra.
Arkansas.
Okay. Oh, I hope we both can't talk throughout this one.
Yeah, it'll be great. But on the upside, we're 17 minutes in, and we're almost to our main topic. So,
good.
Moving it along.
Yeah. Talking about awesome, sound stuff, I watched Road to Perdition. And Road to Perdition is not known for its sound. But there is one part where Tom Hanks is sitting down with this, his last name's like Rooney, and he's like this mob boss guy, and they play the piano. And I don't know why, but that little tune got stuck in my head for a while too, actually. Right. It just was strange. But Road to Perdition, as a whole, is very... I'd say it's a good movie. It wasn't nearly as, like, fantastic as I was hoping it would be with that awesome cast. Like, the cast is really kind of out of this world. Right. But, I had a good time going in, I had a good time going out, and I'm glad I saw it.
Cool. Yeah. And I think I will see it myself in the near future. I just didn't get around to it because it looks very interesting to me.
Colin missed a movie?
I know. I'm the one behind this week. So
holy smokes.
We'll see.
It's all backwards today.
Actually, to be fair, I didn't watch that or In Bruges, but luckily with In Bruges, I've seen it plenty of times, so I can...
Yeah.
Want to get to that now?
Yeah, it's
you saw In Bruges, right? And you had never seen In Bruges?
I'd never seen it. Actually, that's not entirely true. I watched about 10 to 15 minutes at Aaron's house one time.
Right. I recall Aaron really likes that movie.
Oh, he loves that movie.
I love that movie, too.
I do, too, now.
Yeah, no. There's a reason I reckon... Like, there's a reason everybody keeps trying to get you to watch it, because Aaron... I can't talk either. In Bruges is seriously one of my favorite movies.
Oh, it was so good. Actually, if we were doing Movie of the Week, that would have been mine.
Right, and mine would have been Phantom Thread, hence why we're not doing Movie of the Week this week.
But yeah, In Bruges was one of those movies where I sat down, I started it up, and I'm like, alright, so we got Colin Firth.
Yes.
Yeah?
Just to clarify, this is a callback to...
Is it Colin Firth or Colin Farrell?
Did you really not?
I have no clue, man.
It's Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Firth is he's
the Golden Circle man.
Yeah, he's the Kingsman guy.
Yeah, okay. God, I hate people.
And he was in King's Speech.
People have to stop sharing names. That's it.
I thought you were just making a joke.
I mean, I'm kind of am because I'm still clueless. But,
yeah, right.
No, I just hate people's names. So, Colin Farrell and Mad Eye Moody walk into a bar, and they're both hitmen.
Brendan Gleeson is fantastic in that movie. He's like, I thought it would be hard to upstage Colin Farrell, but he pulls it off.
Oh, he is so good in this movie.
He's so good in this movie.
Yeah.
He's like, he is my spirit animal. If I were a hitman, I would like to be exactly like him.
Yeah.
Because he's so wholesome for a hitman.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go see the tourist attractions.
Oh my god, and he's just like, yeah, this is a fairy book town. I love it. This place is
He's
great.
like, this place is gorgeous.
Look at this beautiful church.
Yeah. He's like a big teddy bear, and
Yeah.
he kills people.
Yeah.
He's very violent. I think you see him kill multiple people in the movie. Well, no, you don't really see them kill that many people.
He doesn't kill anybody in the movie, I don't think. Does he?
Okay. No, but there's that one scene where, well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Where this guy that I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
Sharon Heens,
Sure.
the priest.
Yeah, he plays the priest in this movie, and he also plays the guy that gets that has his brother die early on in Road to Perdition, actually. So.
Oh, he's in both movies?
Yes.
Oh, rad.
So I watched Road to Perdition, and I watched In Bruges, and I'm like, oh, I just saw you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, and also Ray Fiennes is in Bruges, and he's fantastic. He was the main bad guy.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
no, he was very good.
He's Ray Fiennes. The interesting thing about In Bruges is Ray Fiennes is the bad guy, but he's
Ralph.
No, Ray. It's
Ralph.
his first name is Rafe, and his last name is Fiennes, so it's like Rafe Fiennes. It's really weird. Yeah, Ray Fiennes.
So you pronounce that Rafe?
Yeah, Ray Fiennes. That's his name.
RALPH is
Yeah.
Rafe?
It's Rafe. It's weird, I know.
What the hell?
For a long time, I called him Ralph Fiennes, because that's what it looks like, but it's
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes.
Really?
Yeah.
And then he's in the Lego Batman movie.
Oh yeah, he plays Alfred in the Lego Batman movie, and he's in Grand Budapest Hotel. He plays the main character, and he's
Kubo.
he's,
Two Strings and Hail Caesar and Spectre.
He's Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh yeah, of course he's Voldemort.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
Anyway, let's not get off topic here.
It blows my mind when the people are they're all interconnected.
Oh yeah, exactly. Let's not get off topic here. Ray Fiennes. Which means stop looking at things at your phone.
No, you keep going.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
looking
okay,
up
okay.
things for movies.
It's fair enough. Ray Fiennes. Oh, I had a train of thought. Now it's lost. Ray Fiennes plays. Oh yeah, that's right. Ray
Great
Fiennes
bad guy.
plays the. Well, see, what I was saying about him is he's the bad guy, quote unquote, but he's just as likable and like relatable as the main characters. Like you get the sense that he's not very intimidating as a bad guy, because it's like the only reason he's a bad guy is it's like it's his job to do what he's doing,
Yep.
just as it is their job to do what they're doing. And the only reason he's the antagonist is his like goals go against their goals, but he's not like
A bad
yeah
guy.
he's not a bad guy. He's a pretty likable guy, honestly.
He's a family man.
Yeah, he's a family man.
He lives up to his own
Promises,
morals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
He has a moral code. He does
Yeah.
not break his moral code. And he's
Yeah.
he's very, very good in it. And Brendan Gleeson's very good. And Colin Farrell's very good. And it's just
Everybody's very good.
a fantastic movie. And if you haven't seen it, it's about two hitmen.
Who are waiting in Bruges for their next.
Yeah, well, basically
orders.
a hit goes wrong. Colin Farrell's character, a hit goes wrong, and he ends up killing a non-target civilian. And their punishment is to wait things out in Bruges, which is a small town in Belgium. And it's just kind of Colin Farrell like dealing with the mental repercussions of what he's done, and Brendan Gleeson is trying to hold them together, and their boss is like checking up on them, and it's very, very funny. It's a dark comedy. It's kind of it's very funny, very disturbing at times, and it's just a masterpiece. I would recommend everybody go see it.
Be warned, the language in this is not for children.
Right.
At all.
It's a very vulgar movie, but they're European hitmen. Of course it is.
Yeah, it's probably the most vulgar movie I've seen in a long time. Actually,
it reminds me of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole movie reminds me of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
it's like Pulp Fiction, European Pulp Fiction, and dare I say, better than Pulp Fiction. That might be kind of sacrilege, but
as of right now, I would say yes, but I'd have to rewatch both,
right?
Because it's fresh in my head.
Pulp Fiction, I don't have the reverence for it that most people do. It's pretty good, but it's not like a masterpiece.
Fair enough.
It's not Tarantino's best movie, I don't think.
Also, there's a part, I'm not going to say why, when, or where, when somebody comes falling they fall.
Yeah, right.
That one was like, oh.
Yeah. It's quite shocking.
I sat there and I went, oh, I know what's happening, but oh. Oh.
Yeah.
And then hits the ground, and I'm like, oh. So yeah, that was rough. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. If you haven't seen it, watch it, and you'll know what I mean.
Very rough. It's not a family movie. It's a very
oh God, no.
It's a very adult movie, but a very good movie.
Well, see, I was talking about it with my mom, and she's just like, "Oh, that sounds really good. I want to see that." I'm like, "Well, you better be ready for some language." Because
some language, some very harsh violence.
Yeah.
The violence in it, it's not very graphic, but it's like unforgiving in how like real it is.
Yeah, it's true.
It's very it's not very like stylized in Hollywood at all. It's just very gritty.
Yeah.
Which is yeah. So very, very good movie, and I think is that it for the movies we saw? No, one more. Good thing we didn't do music. This is going longer than I thought it would. Not that that's a bad thing, because the whole episode's going to be movies, so.
I may have watched another movie this week. I kind of wish I hadn't.
Oh, really?
Really. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Is that the new one?
Yep. Yep. And it has Javier Bardem. And I was like,
I like him.
I like him.
Yeah.
And I usually like seeing Captain Jack Sparrow. Usually. I like Orlando Bloom, and I like, the Kevin McNally. I like Kevin McNally a lot. But this movie was awful.
I haven't had any interest in the Pirates series for a long time. Basically since the second one.
See, in my book, so I'm a big fan of the Pirates movies, and I don't know why.
Really?
I think it's the soundtrack.
They're likable enough. I mean, like, even when they're bad, it's like you just get Captain Jack Sparrow doing adventure.
Well, see, that's what I used to think, and that's what I thought until I saw this movie, and then I saw it, and I'm like, I hated every scene with Johnny Depp in it.
Really? So, like, you hated him in the movie?
I hated him in the movie.
Well, yeah.
I looked into it, and it turns out that during the filming of this movie, he was dealing with a divorce from his wife at the time. And so, apparently it was some rough goings of getting him to actually come out and act, so that could probably be attributed to it.
So, like, when he's on screen, he's just kind of irritated?
Yeah.
And you can tell?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
It's that, and a combination of that...
and he's, like, not really trying?
Yeah, bad writing for the character as well. It's just... The motives in the movie just were kind of awful. Paul Simon's in it.
Paul Simon is in it?
Did I say Paul Simon? Crap.
Say, wait a second. Paul Simon is in
God,
it?
I hate things. I hate everything. Paul McCartney. That's better.
Paul McCartney's in it.
Paul McCartney's in it.
That's like...
It's not Paul Simon.
That's like the same level of, like, incredulous disbelief. Paul McCartney's in it?
Paul McCartney's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is Paul McCartney in it?
God knows.
Alright.
My guess is like Paul McCartney somewhere along the line has somebody related to him who's like, those Pirates movies, I really like those, and he's like, I'll go and be in one.
Okay. He's like, I'm Paul McCartney, I do what I want.
That's right. So he did. And then you see Paul McCartney for a half a second, and you're like, was that Paul McCartney? And then you just move on with your life because nobody cares.
Nice.
But no, the movie as a whole is garbage. It's not good. If you're gonna go watch a Pirates movie, go watch the first one again, because that was fun.
Yeah, that one was very fun.
And the soundtrack, unfortunately, is not by Hans Zimmer, so don't even bother listening to it. It's garbage.
Not even he wouldn't even do this one.
Nope.
All right. Well,
he gave it to his protege.
Oh, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer will do anything.
Yeah.
He did Call of Duty.
Yeah.
He does everything.
And I love that first soundtrack to the Pirates movie. I put that stuff on all the time. Like,
yeah.
I'm playing video games, I'm like, you know what this needs? Pirates of the Caribbean music.
Yeah, we played it in high school band all the time.
Because it's so good.
Yeah.
And
we played it at contests. I'm not even talking pep band. We played it at like real contests.
And we got superiors.
Yeah, we got superior ratings for it.
Because that soundtrack is just awesome.
Yes, for sure.
You know, yeah. So don't watch it. Go watch the old ones. They're better. I don't know. I was really in the vibe, like just in the mood to watch some Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was sadly disappointed.
It's too bad.
And then I saw In Bruges, and I was a lot happier.
Yeah. So,
I think that's it for my list, yeah.
Cool. Do you want to jump to A24?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good. We got 2 movies to talk about, Under the Skin and Krisha. Which do you want to talk about first? I was going to go like by order of how we watched them, but like literally I watched Krisha, then we both watched Under the Skin at the same time, then you watched Krisha, so we could go anyway.
Let's do the one we watched together.
Okay, Under the Skin.
Yeah.
So, Under the Skin is another very, very artsy movie, like Enemy. So, how did you like it in comparison to Enemy?
I really liked Under the Skin.
Cool. I'm, Under the Skin, yeah, I prefer Under the Skin to Enemy myself as well. Even though I do still stand by, I really like Enemy. I was actually like looking up like analysis videos of it, and it's like, I see what you mean, where it's like super metaphorical and kind of like every analysis video is just sort of a stretch, but I still enjoy it. But Under the Skin it's hard to explain. Just to call it like an alien movie is kind of underselling it. Yeah. Or even overselling it, because it's like it's not exciting, but it is surreal and nightmarish.
Yeah.
Very nightmarish. There's a specific scene in it. I won't say what it is, but I think when you're watching the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That really freaked me out when I saw it, to the point where I had to stop and have a literal ice cream break. That's all I remember about it. I stopped it and I went and got some ice cream. That's no joke. That's what happened. And as we were watching it, me and Josh were just about to eat. Yeah. I remember tater tots.
Some tots.
And the scene was like just about to happen, and Josh asked, "Should we be eating as the scene is happening?" I was like, "No."
Yeah. It probably wasn't a good idea, but we did anyway.
Yeah.
So Under the Skin is interesting. I'm actually going to be doing an analysis of this, at least somewhat, of the effectiveness of the visuals within the movie for my film class. What it's going to come down to is the visuals in this movie are amazing and they're extremely effective.
Right.
But the major problem with it is the storytelling.
Okay, yeah. It's as far as story goes, it's a very bare bones movie.
Yeah, because it does it in a very alien way. It doesn't tell you anything firsthand.
Exactly. No,
you go into this and you just
This is actually kind of the opposite of Enemy, where it's like Enemy has a strong like narrative. It's just like the meaning of it's kind of like weird and like hard to figure out. In Under the Skin, the meaning's very interesting, and piecing things together is very engaging, but the movie itself gives you nothing.
Not really. And it really should start you out with letting you know that these the people in this movie aren't people.
No, it doesn't tell you that they're aliens,
and
you just have to like figure that out.
And if I wouldn't have read the small description on IMDb, which is literally like one sentence long, it's aliens are seducing men to feed off them. And that's it. Like, that's all he gives you. And I'm like, oh, aliens. Okay, got it. That's all I need to know. And even that's
very misleading. That makes it sound like a pretty, like, schlocky B movie.
It does.
But it's definitely not.
It's not.
Very artsy-fartsy.
But if you didn't know they're aliens, there's nothing that's going to tell you right off the bat.
Well, but it's like, I think the intended way to watch the movie is go into it completely blind. Because I feel like even if I wasn't told they're aliens, in the process of watching the movie, I'd be like, okay, they're aliens.
I think about there's a scene where somebody is brought into the alien's lair, kind of.
Yeah.
I think as soon as that scene would have hit, I would have been like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly.
What just happened?
It's super bizarre.
That's where I probably would have paused it and gone and taken an ice cream break and reflected on my life.
Because the alien's lair, quote unquote, is the sensory deprivation realm in Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's just black.
Shot for shot, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
In fact, Stranger Things just directly ripped it off, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very weird, very abstract, very surreal. Very, very frightening if you don't like weird, disturbing, surreal imagery.
Yeah.
This movie's... There's one scene that's rougher than the rest. And like I said, I don't even need to talk about it, because when you're watching it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Actually, the shoot got me as well.
Yeah, no, that's part of the same
I
scene.
suppose it is part of it's right there.
It's just a whole thing. And it's, ooh boy, it's really rough to watch.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it comes down to, like, if it gets you, but...
Yeah, right.
You know,
I don't even know if it...
It's something that's going to stick in my brain.
Yeah, me too. I still haven't... Like, it was still vivid in my memory as we were, like, getting to that point, and when we were watching it, and I was like, oh boy, here it comes.
Here we go. Yeah.
It's and things don't happen like that to me anymore, because I'm an adult. Like, as a kid, you know...
Everything that's
scary
happened,
stuck in my mind, but, like, nowadays, it's like, for imagery to really stick with you, it's a well-shot sequence.
Yeah.
And it's not gory at all. Well... Depends on what you consider gore, but it's not gory, it's not graphic. Well, also it depends on what you consider graphic, because it is graphic in a nudity sense, but
yeah.
it's
well, and you know it comes off, you know, as an artsy film usually displays nudity. It's not sexy,
right? And
it's something that you just kind of look at and you go, oh.
Yeah, it's like Ex Machina
yeah.
in a sense.
You know, there's naked people, but they're definitely not something that you're going to be popping one to.
It's not... It's not... The intent is not to titillate. It's literally... Like, I like when movies do this, because there's a lot of nudity in Under the Skin. I mean, like, as the title would... And in premise would imply, there's a lot of graphic nudity, but it's like, it's not gratuitous, and it's like, it makes perfect sense in context, and it helps the movie, because it goes back to our very early discussions of H.R. Giger, where it's just like, you know, it's just like sexuality makes us uncomfortable, even more so weird alien sexuality like this, and it's not even really sexuality, it's just like sterile nudity, basically.
Well, yeah, and then one thing that this movie did, and I really liked, was the alien trying to figure out sexuality. Like, that was the most interesting thing.
That was very interesting. Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Because the alien starts to identify as, like, a female, and the alien starts to, like, understand what human sexuality is, and it's done in a very... pretty tasteful way, and very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with the alien just kind of watching normal human life and just experience what being human kind of is. Yeah. But as soon as we start getting into what is Scarlett Johansson running around, you know, as an alien in a suit of a Scarlett Johansson suit, trying to figure out what sexuality actually is, and that, you know, is a very alien topic to deal with anyway as a human. You know, it's not something that you pop out knowing.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Nobody's like, oh yeah, I get sexuality when they're, you know, 5. You know, it's something to be learned.
As I was talking to Josh about, there's a very subtle way in which the movie kind of makes us sympathize and, like, relate with the alien that you probably, like, unless you're, like, looking for it, you probably wouldn't even notice. The very fact that it takes place in Scotland, and you can tell sometimes the alien just doesn't know what people are saying because the Scottish accent is so thick. Like traditional, like typical American viewers, like, you're not gonna understand what some people are saying because the Scottish accent is just impenetrable. And so, like, in that sense, you're like, I'm right there with you, alien. They're speaking a language I understand, but, like, the accent's so thick, I don't know what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a subtle thing, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting movie. In total, it certainly isn't going to be something that I watch over and over, just because, you know, it has that storytelling element that just doesn't hit hard enough, and then the memorable parts are memorable enough that I don't need to see it again.
Right. Yeah, it's not a very... I don't think it's a very rewatchable movie. I would rewatch it in the sense to like analyze it and like learn new things about it. But like for entertainment
or techniques.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For entertainment, it's kind of like a one and done type thing. But yeah, I would definitely recommend go checking it out. It's very good.
Oh goodness, what did I just see?
Under the Skin.
No, there was. Oh, we'll get into it when when we talk about Krisha.
Okay.
Actually, let's just dive in.
All right, dive into Krisha.
Krisha?
Krisha, yes.
Right. I don't know. There was whatever. Krisha.
Krisha is one of the most depressing movies I've seen in a long time.
It was rough for me.
Yeah. Me too. I should start by saying Krisha is written and directed by the man, Trey Edward Schultz, who wrote and directed It Comes at Night, and you could really tell.
Yeah.
Like, other than the fact that there's no, like, psychological horror aspect to Krisha. Well, I mean...
Nope, there is.
There kind of is. There kind of is, but it's not what I'd call, like, a thriller or a horror or even a thriller.
No, I mean, it's
more of just, like, a drama.
It's like psychological damaging,
right.
Messed up people.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's psychologically damaging in the same way that It Comes at Night. This guy, he likes making movies that at the very end of it, you just feel miserable. It Comes at Night did this. Krisha did this even more so, I'd argue.
Yeah? Krisha's way more relatable than It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night is like you sympathize with the characters, but it's like obviously this is a scenario that I will never see unless something goes very wrong with the world.
Yeah.
But with Krisha, like, it's very relatable. Like, I have like family conflicts that have been like this.
Yeah.
Not as extreme maybe, but like I know what it's like.
Yeah.
And that makes it a rough watch. If you have, like, family problems, it's not an easy movie to watch.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so let's give a quick premise. So Krisha is this lady that is a part of this big old family, and she comes back after being away for 10 years.
Right.
And she is now trying to integrate herself back into this family gathering during Thanksgiving with her son. Yeah. And the rest of her family. I'm assuming she's at her sister's house.
Right.
It doesn't go well. The entire movie...
At first it seems like it's going kind of well.
Yeah, at first it's like, okay, so this is all right. People are looking at her. They're talking to her. It's all right. But just as it goes on, it just drags it farther and farther down until the climax of the movie literally makes you want to leave the room. Like I would do if this was a real situation.
Right. It's like, if you've ever been in a situation in which people are just yelling and you're just like, I cannot deal with this right now, and you've wanted to leave, this is what this movie makes you feel like.
Yeah, that's the last, third of this movie, the entire...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it does this interesting thing where, like, I want to give away too much, but, like, there are, like, two different endings to the movie, and it's up to you to decide. Like, what was your interpretation of... There are, like, two different endings of the movie. One that's, like, bittersweet and one that's just awful. And they happen, like, right next to each other. It's kind of weird to describe, but it makes sense in context. Which do you think was what actually happened, and which do you think is, like, how she imagined it happened? Or first or second. I don't want to say, like, good or bad, but first or second.
Well, I mean... I don't know. Without getting into it, it's hard. But
I'd like to say the first one is how... I'd like to think the first one's how it actually happened. And the second one, how the movie, like, actually ends, is how, like, she saw it in her head. Or do you think it's the other way around? Like, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure entirely myself either.
If it's the other way around... Man, that's depressing. Yeah. If that's how it actually happened, and then the second... I mean, the other way, like, the fact that, like, they're actually, like, supportive of her, and she sees it as them being like, get out of this house, you're awful. like, that's depressing, because it's just, like, this downward spiral of, like, self-hatred.
Yeah.
But if it's the other way around, where, like, it was awful, and she saw it as them being really supportive, that's also very depressing. So either way, it's depressing.
I mean, yeah, either way, it's not a good time.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. This movie did a lot of things that just kind of made me go, wow, it's a little too close to home.
Right, yeah.
I kind of just want to shut it off.
Yeah. So, it's a very difficult watch. Especially, like I said, if you have, like, family problems.
Yeah. And it seems like every family has that one person.
Yeah, exactly.
That just causes all the problems. So...
Yeah.
And that's essentially what this entire movie is.
Yeah.
Is following that one person around.
Right.
While they cluelessly ruin everybody's lives.
Yeah.
Including their own.
Yeah.
It was rough.
No, it's very sad. But not talking of the sad factor. As far as a film goes, it was pretty good. It was pretty well written. I mean, it was effective, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'd go as far to say that this is almost on par with Killing of a Sacred Deer as far as what it was going for.
Right. It's like on a much smaller scale.
Yeah, what it was going for isn't nearly as big of an impact as Killing of a Sacred Deer is. But the effectiveness...
this movie's intent is to, like, bum you out. Killing of a Sacred Deer's intent is to destroy your entire existence.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a little more grander, and it's, like, it's misery porn. Both of these movies. That's what I call it. It's just sadness on top of sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think this film was as masterfully done as Killing of a Sacred Deer, but what it was trying to do and then how it did it,
amateur, which kind of added to it. I mean, literally, I don't even know if you realize this, but
no, it's his family.
Yeah, and Trey, the character in the movie, that's the guy that made the movie.
Yeah, no.
And literally, the aunt character is not his aunt, but it was, like, based off of his aunt. This is, like, a real interpretation of a real thing in his life, basically.
Yeah, did you do all the looks of the little trivia?
Yeah, his grandma
has dementia.
Had Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, yeah.
And she didn't even know she was in a movie.
Yeah.
So her performance is completely genuine.
Just there. She's just... Yeah. Well, and then that leads you to go... So now... Like, I understand that this was very independent...
Yeah, right.
So if this was, funded by any big kind of screens, they probably wouldn't legally be able to have her, considering her not being able to give legal consent for filming her.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think so, because, like, that's only a problem if the person has a problem with it, and if she didn't have a problem with it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's interesting.
Like, yeah, because, this is not... obviously, we're doing it for A24 Fest, so it is an A24 distributed movie, so it did see national release.
Yeah.
But, like... I don't know. And it just goes to show, A24, they fund some really interesting projects.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm loving this so far. Because it's like Krisha. It's like, where did they come across this? Like, literally, it's the director's first movie. Like, he did a short film in 2014 that was like a really low budget short film that was called Krisha, and his adaptation of it, A24 picked it up because they're interested in it. There's not really any famous actors in it at all, so it's just like, cool. And now I got to see it because I'm going through A24's filmography.
And it's really bizarre because so far every single A24 movie that we've seen has been kind of stress-inducing and not very lighthearted or fun.
Except for Charles Swan, which was stress-inducing in a different way.
Yeah. But as far as the movies go, like, we haven't had, like, a break.
A24 movies are big bummers, all of them.
Yeah, kind
of. Locke had like a pretty happy ending and had moments of levity. I didn't feel stressed when watching Locke. I just felt kind of vaguely sad. But also, I was like, "This is a cool guy. He's gonna figure this out. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be okay." With Krisha,
that's the thing. That's what he's supposed to make you think.
Yeah, like, exactly.
We're fine. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, oh.
Yeah.
Just imagining that stress that he's under, though, is, oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna buckle like a building.
Yeah.
He's gonna collapse under
gonna
his own
crack.
weight like a badly constructed building. It's
Crack
all a metaphor.
like the cement.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so good though. But what I'm getting across is, every single thing that I've been watching other than A24 Fest has been like the most
like,
lighthearted
way happier.
stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like
I saw
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I saw Lego Batman last week.
I was dying for Pirates of the Caribbean due to this.
Oh yeah.
And I watched the newest one, and it was bad.
See, I just like sad movies.
I do too, but wow.
Yeah.
It's not a good place to be all
the
time.
Krisha, I think, we've reached peak sadness with Krisha. I feel like...
No, because we still got to go back to Killing of a Sacred Deer.
But that's not, like, really sadness, though. That's just, like, disgust.
Yeah, but you'll be sad.
That's true. It is pretty sad. I guess it is sad. It's just, like... Krisha, it's all sad. Killing of a Sacred Deer, it's sad and other complex emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, stressed, disturbed, bad.
Disgusted. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a whole bunch of negative emotions shoved into one person.
Exactly. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's our kind of sick thrills, I guess.
I guess. I mean, it's interesting because when I was coming over here, I was just thinking of A24, and I'm just like, God, we haven't seen a single one that's been like, oh, this is nice,
life affirming and happy.
Yeah, like this was a nice movie. I enjoyed it on a happy level.
Even Charles Swan was actually very depressing.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
Like there's a scene where his pet dies and he's burying it in the yard, and he literally says to the camera, "That was the only thing I had left."
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was like, "This is a comedy. Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. No. So I mean. Literally everything we've watched so far. I mean, the most lighthearted one was probably The Spectacular Now.
Yeah,
and even
we got Swiss Army Man coming up.
Yeah,
so.
that's along the line.
Yeah.
So I mean, we do have things coming, but wow, Ginger and Rosa was just bad and boring.
Really depressing.
Spring Breakers was like a weird 50-50 mix.
Right. Yeah, it's very funny but very disturbing as well.
Bling Ring made you feel bad, but not because it was that kind of movie. The Spectacular Now, like I said, was probably the closest one to be making you feel, like, good. Yeah. And that even had some weird, oh my God, they're all alcoholics.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, coming up next, we have Obvious Child.
Oh, that's like a comedy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I'm actually looking forward to that.
This says Plop from The Office.
Yes.
Did you just say yes, not knowing, or do you...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so The Office, the later seasons, has a character that they rename Plop, and then that character, actor...
Jenny Slate? Or is it a male character?
Male.
I didn't watch later Office. So.
This guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy in the picture on A24. So we have that, and I suppose I should pick a movie off this list. Do you want to do The Captive?
Sure. Is that what, like Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, that's Ryan Reynolds.
Cool. All right, we'll do The Captive.
All right, so we got Plop and The Captive.
Obvious Child and The Captive. I'm excited for Obvious Child. I hear it's an odd kind of comedy. I think it's like...
God, I hope it's more lighthearted. I'm desperately in the need for something a little less stress-inducing at this moment.
If memory serves, I think despite it being a comedy, it's also kind of like life-destroying. From what I hear.
Great.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's super happy. I don't know.
You know what my goal is for this next week?
What?
As I'm going to start watching more A Bit of Fry and Laurie.
Yeah. I want to talk about that very briefly because I want to get onto our main topic.
Dude, I'm in season 3.
Yeah. That's a fantastic show. A Bit of Fry and Laurie, check it out.
It's so good.
Hugh Laurie, Stephen Fry, you literally cannot go wrong with that combo.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's what's kept me alive these past 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've been watching a lot of bummer movies.
Yeah, it's been a lot of sad.
Yeah.
And then just stressful college crap and sad movies and more stressful college crap. You need some light down the tunnel.
Exactly.
Every now and then, and that's A Bit of Fry and Laurie.
For sure.
And it was going to be pirates, and turns out it was just a fire.
It's just a fire? Did you say?
Yeah.
What? Hold on. What?
And then I choked on the smoke and I burned alive. Thanks, bye.
Oh. You know, sometimes I'm like, I see a light at the end of the tunnel, and like, it turns out that it's a fire. Now I'm choking on the smoke in my lungs. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But I won't go to sleep with a mind that's so wired.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Okay. Glad we talked about it.
My song of the week is what is that? Stunner by
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Stunner by Scroobius Pip. Look it up. I'm not putting a clip, but look it up. Anyway. Are we out of A24?
I think we're out of A24.
Rad. Alright.
Don't do this unless you want to be sad.
Yeah.
That's the outcome we've got so far.
A lot of negative emotions in both of our movies. If you want to be like even under the skin.
No, I was gonna say even Swiss Army Man has some very life questions.
As Red Letter Media put it, and I think they were like quoting the director or something or paraphrasing the director. Basically, the director said he wanted a movie about like a corpse with like that like farts and has a boner. And at the end, you'll be crying, was the intention for Swiss Army Man. And while I don't think he quite met that, it gets sad near the end. It gets really sad, actually. Yeah. So even that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, don't you just love when you watch all the bad movies that make you upset?
I never thought of it like that. All A24 movies are really sad. That must be why I like them.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, The Disaster Artist.
Oh! The Disaster Artist is not sad in the slightest.
That doesn't make me sad.
In the slightest.
I mean,
that is it has dramatic moments, but for the most part, it's just a riot.
I mean, if you watch the Disaster Artist and you relate that closely to Tommy Wiseau, maybe it makes you sad.
Maybe.
But it doesn't for me.
Fair enough. No, I didn't feel sad at all. So, okay, fair enough. And maybe as we go through this quest, we'll find other not sad movies.
I'm hoping the Ryan Reynolds one won't be as sad just because it's Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know. It looks depressing. Like, it's just a shot of Ryan Reynolds frowning in the snow, and it's called The Captive.
Yeah.
So,
but it's Ryan Reynolds.
We'll see. All right, fair enough.
And I want him to make me laugh.
Yeah,
and that weird humor that he always does with Deadpool and whatnot.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. I doubt it's going to happen.
So, our main... sorry to cut you off there, but...
No, you're fine. Let's do it.
Our main thing is we're going to go through every category of nominations for the Oscars and quick give our thoughts about it. I'm just doing this on a website. I don't know if this is the right order. I'm going bottom to top. So, first off, this is a topic that we've covered on the show before, visual effects.
Yep.
Our list is Blade Runner 2049.
My opinion, that one should win.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Kong Skull Island. Star Wars The Last Jedi. And War for the Planet of the Apes. Here's the thing. One of these is not like the others, right? All of these, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kong, Star Wars, War for the Planet of the Apes, it's all CGI in abundance and all technically complicated, but it doesn't look particularly real.
Mm-hmm.
However, we got Blade Runner 2049, where the CGI is very subtle, but looks very real and really, really enhances the world of the movie. So there's two ways to go with that.
Yeah.
I think Blade Runner 2049 absolutely deserves it.
Of course. Then again, I can't say anything about War for the Planet of the Apes. I haven't seen
that.
That
was the other one. I was like, if any of these other... I mean, for all of these, I'm going to say what I think deserves it. What I think... The ones that if they get it instead, I would be fine with. And the one that I think is going to get it. I think Blade Runner 2049, I think that deserves it. I think it's going to get it, too. But if they give it to War for the Planet of the Apes, I'll be fine with it. Because, to be fair, the CGI for the apes is pretty good. I haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes, but it's, like, super impressive in the last one.
Yeah, and the last two, the apes looked amazing.
So it's like, if they go that route, I won't be upset about it. But it's like, come on, Blade Runner 2049 is, like, revolutionary. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Blade Runner was amazing. As far as what Blade Runner did right was the CGI in my book. That was the best thing that thing brought to the table.
Okay.
And the soundtrack. That's pretty close second.
So, next is costume design. We got Beauty and the Beast, Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, and Victoria and Abdul.
Oh my god.
Phantom Thread?
Okay, I would be okay with Shape of Water, Phantom Thread, or Darkest Hour. Like, any of those can win, and I'll be happy.
What about Darkest Hour was all that impressive? Just the period clothing.
Just period clothing was really good.
I guess I can see that. Yeah. If we're talking like cool period clothing though, it's got to be Phantom Thread, right? Like,
I would want
the whole movie's about clothing.
Oh god, costume design though. That fish.
We're talking about The Shape of Water. Yes, I think that would fall under costume.
Okay.
It might.
I would go with that then.
It might be makeup and visual effects though.
Maybe.
If the Fishman counts as a costume, which I guess technically it is, it's hard to say where that falls under.
That's true.
If it counts, if they just count the whole like thing about the Fishman under costume, which they shouldn't because it's like half CGI. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Phantom Thread because Phantom Thread's literally all about beautiful costumes, beautiful clothing.
Yeah, that's true.
And it does it phenomenally. It's like my worry about Phantom Thread was that in the movie, I don't have a sense for fashion. I thought in the movie, if they show me a beautiful dress and they'll be like, oh, it's exquisite in every detail, which they do, I worried I would be like, whatever, it's a dress. But in the movie, I was like, okay, that's very pretty. That's a very pretty dress. You know? So they did a good job in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, here we go. If it's Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, or Shape of Water, I'll be okay. So that's 3 out of 5, which, that's a pretty good chance.
I want to get something out of the way. I have not seen Victoria and Abdul.
I haven't either.
And I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast.
I haven't either.
So I can't speak on those.
Yeah.
I think...
If I remember right, I think Emma Watson's dress looked good.
Yes, it was like blue. It looked cool, I guess.
Blue? Was it blue?
I thought. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought it was that gold, flowy...
I could not care less about
Fair
that
enough.
movie.
You're right. Let's move on.
All right.
But yeah, those...
So I'm saying Phantom Thread is what I want to get it, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but... I think it's going to get it just because, like, Shape of Water, I think they're going to acknowledge the makeup and visual effects more than they will the
I think you're right.
design.
I think Phantom Thread will get it. I want Shape of Water to get it. If the Fishman outfit goes under that, I want Shape of Water to get it, but I think Phantom Thread will get it, which I'll also be fine with because they're both phenomenal. But I'd be just as happy if Darkest Hour got it because, the period piece was...
Period dress was very good.
I like it.
No, yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Any of those three, I'd be cool with.
Then again, I just kind of like that style.
Yeah,
so
like
that's kind of
1940s.
Oh my god, this next section is easy peasy.
Makeup and hair, literally, we don't need to talk about it because it's like...
Well, we do need to mention that I haven't seen either of the two movies running after
I can
Darkest
talk
Hour.
a little bit of Wonder because I know about it, but I haven't seen it. Okay, there's Darkest Hour, Victoria and Abdul again, and Wonder. Victoria and Abdul, I have no idea anything about it. I should have looked it up, I'm sorry, but it's like I don't know anything about it, so I'm just speaking as a person that I know Wonder and Darkest Hour. Wonder, the main kid has makeup effects to look deformed or disabled. And I've heard very conflicting opinions on how well the makeup artist did. Some people say it was great, some people say it wasn't so great. However, if Darkest Hour doesn't win, I will be extremely upset.
Because it was phenomenal. You couldn't tell that was Gary Oldman.
You couldn't recognize Gary Oldman. When people say... I heard somebody say, I couldn't recognize Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread. I think, like, you can recognize him. Like, he's transformative in the sense, but it's like, it's still Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
But Darkest Hour, you could have shown me that movie and been
you
like...
You would have never known.
And been like, I'm not going to tell you who plays Winston Churchill. I would never have guessed Gary Oldman, like, in a million years. If you have showed me Phantom Thread, after a few scenes, I would have been like, that's Daniel Day-Lewis, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, like, Darkest Hour, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Beyond good.
Because he's, like, really fat, and Gary Oldman's pretty skinny in real life. And it's, like, it's so transformative. So, seriously, Darkest Hour needs to win it. Like, if it doesn't...
I agree.
If it doesn't, that's a big injustice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Original song, I literally cannot speak to any of these. Have you seen any of these movies? Call Me... Mudbound, Call Me By Your Name, Coco, Marshall, Greatest Showman.
God, I've wanted to see Mudbound and Coco for a while now.
And I want to see Call Me By Your Name. Yeah,
I want to see that too.
I'm just gonna say Call Me By Your Name because it was by Sufjan Stevens. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about Coco and Mudbound too. Yeah. I don't know.
So unfortunately, we can't really speak on that because I don't think either of us has seen any of them.
And actually, I've heard some things about The Greatest Showman and that it's better than people were saying, but. I don't know if I'm going to see it yet, but who knows? Next.
All right. Next is original score. This is a hotly contested one.
Oh God.
I know. Picking from these.
Oh no.
I actually want to say something. The fact that Blade Runner 2049 is not on there is very upsetting. Let's just get into it. Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and three billboards. Do you suppose the reason Blade Runner 2049 isn't on there is because Hans Zimmer did both Dunkirk and...
It very well could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
And they had to choose, Dunkirk. Huh. Interesting.
That could be. In my book, I don't want Dunkirk to win. The soundtrack doesn't stick out in my head. I also don't want Star Wars to win. I don't think it was that great compared to other Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Three Billboards, I haven't seen it or heard it, so
I've heard that it's pretty good, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. But as far as The Shape of Water and Phantom Thread goes...
Ooh, it's a toss-up.
That is really hard.
Because, I will say this.
I'd probably go The Shape of Water, and you're probably going to go Phantom Thread.
I'm going to go Phantom Thread, and I'm a very huge Phantom Thread fanboy. You should know this by now, but... I want Phantom Thread to win it because Phantom Thread, like I said, it's stuck in my head, and it really elevated the movie. The movie was great without the music, but, with the music, it's oof. It's just a delight to watch.
And I honestly could go either way, but I'd probably want Shape of Water to win more.
Yeah, and I think Shape of Water will win. Because if I remember correctly about Shape of Water, it was a little less conventional than Phantom Thread. Say what you will about Phantom Thread. The music was kind of just... It was just classical music. It was just
Yeah.
It wasn't that, inventive. It was just nice music.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Shape of Water's probably going to get it. And I would be fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dunkirk. Because Dunkirk, it was the music was really abstract. It was just noise.
I don't want Dunkirk to win.
Yeah,
Dunkirk could win on visuals, but
yeah, I think it could be any of those three. I liked the score of Dunkirk personally, but I like Hans Zimmer, so
yeah, I do too. Just Dunkirk, I didn't find to be that amazing when it comes to the score.
This actually, oh wow,
production design.
This actually answers our question from the last one.
Oh, okay.
Because the same two people did two movies in this list, so that rules out the Hans Zimmer thing.
Oh.
Production design: Beauty and the Beast, Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, The Shape of Water. Did you know that the production design for Beauty and the Beast and Darkest Hour are done by the same two people?
What exactly is production design?
Production design is sets.
Okay.
And the visual atmosphere of the movie, just
I guess
how the movie looks visually, not cinematography, just the construction of the movie.
I suppose that doesn't surprise me that much, actually.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I would like Blade Runner 2049 to win.
Same.
Yeah, because production design, what that movie did phenomenally.
I wouldn't be upset with Darkest Hour or Shape of Water or Dunkirk either. Any of those.
Dunkirk, I wouldn't give Dunkirk production design because, there was a lot of good, props and good, they just filmed in Dunkirk. Yeah. So it's, there wasn't really a lot of, it was really natural. It's not everything's sets in Blade Runner 2049, but, the sets are very, very intricate and interesting.
But, same thing with, Shape of Water. I loved all of the sets in Shape of Water. I thought they were so good.
Right.
You have her
Especially
home,
since,
which is
what impressed me about Shape of Water is they have to build their sets to be like watertight.
Mm-hmm.
Because like every like major set in the movie gets like flooded with water at some point, basically. Yeah. Like that's impressive. It could honestly like win on that merit alone.
Yeah, so I would be very happy with the Shape of Water
I'd
winning
be cool
again.
with Blade Runner 2049 or The Shape of Water winning. I'm predicting Blade Runner 2049. I think it's probably going to be that one, and I want it to be that one, but it could well be Shape of Water or Dunkirk.
I could see Darkest Hour winning.
I don't know.
I don't particularly care, as long as it's not Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
Because I wasn't a big fan of anything.
Just the look of that movie?
Yeah,
it was ugly. I wasn't really...
Well, the Beast was awful.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that falls under production design.
I know it doesn't, but it was awful anyway.
Alright. Cool. Sound mixing.
Oh, this one's easy.
Yeah, Baby Driver. Alright, moving on. Sound editing, Baby Driver.
Yeah, no, you're right, though.
Here's what I don't know. What's the difference between sound editing and sound mixing?
I'm not entirely sure. But I want them
both to go the Baby Driver?
Yeah.
Here, this even further muddies the water. The list for both categories is identical. It's the same movies in the same order. It's Baby Driver, Blade Runner 2049, Dunkirk, The Shape of Water, and Star Wars The Last Jedi for both sound mixing and sound editing. Same list, same order.
Yeah, and you know what? I would be fine with...
So let's lump them together, shall we?
We shall.
Baby Driver.
We both want Baby Driver to win for this one.
And I think it very well will. I think it will win. Because Baby Driver, the sound editing, that's like the main thing about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's like that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, if they're gonna give a complimentary like nod to Baby Driver for something, it's gonna be sound editing.
Oh, by far. Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, if that isn't on the list, we got Blade Runner or The Shape of Water. Which I think this is where we'd split again. You'd go Blade Runner, I'd probably go
honestly,
Shape of Water.
I'm flipping. I'm going Shape of Water for this one because Blade Runner 2049, some of the sound mixing was a little distracting in my mind.
Cool.
I actually did notice that, and it was like not that distracting, but it was a little... I didn't like how the gunshot sounded. Maybe that's just me.
Okay.
I don't know. So
if not Baby Driver,
which that's probably... okay. Cool. Yeah, so... Baby Driver, Shape of Water. Sound mixing, Dunkirk was... It was well edited, but it's like I don't really remember anything about the editing. It was just kind of good. Film editing, Baby Driver. See, no, it's also... I don't think all three editing categories are going to Baby Driver. I think it's going to get it in sound editing and mixing. But I think film editing...
I want that one to go to The Shape of Water.
Maybe.
Or maybe Three Billboards, which I haven't seen.
Or I, Tonya.
And I haven't seen I, Tonya.
Basically, it's Baby Driver, Dunkirk, I, Tonya, The Shape of Water, Three Billboards.
And I've only seen 3 of those.
Right.
So I can't say anything to I, Tonya or Three Billboards, but I don't think Baby Driver is going to get this one. With the ones I've seen, it'll be between Dunkirk and The Shape of Water, and in all honesty, it'll probably go to Dunkirk between those two.
Yes. I mean, Dunkirk, I think it'll either go to Dunkirk or I, Tonya, and hear me out, because I haven't seen I, Tonya, but it's just, I think they have to give, like, something to I, Tonya. Like, I can't see I, Tonya winning any bigger awards,
And you know what? The film editing might be phenomenal in I, Tonya, and I just wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, I have no clue. So my preemptive guess is I, Tonya, just because I'm really cynical about how these awards are put together, but maybe I'm wrong. If it's not I, Tonya, I think I'm going Dunkirk, because like the way the movie was edited was pretty interesting, and like how it spliced all the stories together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go Dunkirk myself.
This next one should be fun.
Yeah. I haven't heard of any of these movies.
And I've seen none of them. So...
yeah.
Best foreign language
films: A Fantastic Woman, which comes from Chile. The Insult, which is Lebanon. Loveless from Russia. On Body and Soul from Hungary. And The Square from Sweden. I've Literally heard of none of these.
I'm going to go with Loveless from Russia because that sounds like something you hear in a James Bond film.
I'm going The Square from Sweden.
All right.
Because I like Swedish movies.
I thought you were going to say you like squares.
I do like squares also.
Well, there you go.
It's hip to be square, so to say.
It's hip to be square.
Best live action short film, I've heard of none of these. DeKalb Elementary, The 11 O'Clock, My Nephew Emmett, The Silent Child, and What to Vote, All of Us. Let's take our guesses. I'm going The Silent Child, just because that, I like silent children.
Oh
no! Loud kids are the worst. I like it when they're just quiet.
I like them purely mute.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the 11 o'clock because I think that's when the day should actually start.
I like the mute. I'm like Michael Shannon in The Shape of Water.
Great. Good. Next.
Cool.
This one will be fun too.
Best documentary short subject. I've heard of literally none of these. Edith plus Eddie. Heaven is a traffic jam on the 405.
Oh, I know which one I'm picking.
Yeah. Heroin, in parentheses, E.
Oh,
so
like
it's
the drug and the super lady
and the
protagonist.
Female hero, yeah. Knife skills.
Oh my god, never mind, I'm changing.
Traffic stop. I'm still going with Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405 because that's a cool title.
That is cool.
But Knife Skills reminds me of Surviving Edged Weapons.
Exactly.
So
I'm going Knife Skills. Also, this is done by, I'm assuming, the son of John Lennon.
Yeah, Thomas Lennon. Not to make fun of documentary features, it's just I've never heard of any of them. Maybe if they look interesting as I'm seeing the awards, which I won't be. They're on the 4th this year, which is my birthday, and I'm playing a concert supposedly that day, so I probably won't be around for them. So
you'll have to catch them up on.
I'll have to catch up on them, yeah. Best documentary feature, again, I've heard of one of these.
You've heard of one?
Yeah, Last Men in Aleppo. I've heard of that.
Oh, I have heard of this one.
But I don't know anything about it. I'm assuming it's about Aleppo. Abacus, Small Enough to Jail. Faces, Places. Icarus, Last Men in Aleppo, and Strong Island.
I'm going to do Faces, Places, because that's just fun to say.
I'm going Strong Island because it's by a man named Yance Ford.
Nice.
That's a wonderful name. Okay, now we're on to another category we can talk about.
Once these things start, penetrating our worlds, then maybe we can go more in depth.
Last year, I had my money riding on a documentary that I had actually seen. It was called,
Gotcha.
Well, now I forgot what it was called. Tickled was the
Oh
name
my
of it.
god, yeah, that's on Plex?
Plex, yeah.
I think, we got it on Plex. I should watch that. I did think about it.
It's super good. Very weird, very disturbing, and it's a documentary, so it's real.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Anyway, cinematography. Let's talk about it.
Cinematography, this is one that we could have a discussion about, because Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, The Shape of Water. I'm going Dunkirk.
I haven't seen Mudbound.
Okay.
I want to see Mudbound. I've heard tons of good things, and I would hope the cinematography in that's really good, because it looked good from the little bit I've seen. I still want The Shape of Water to win.
Yeah, Shape of Water is your baby.
It really is.
Mine
really
is either Phantom Thread or
Blade Runner.
Dunkirk's my third baby.
Yeah.
But I want Dunkirk to win.
I wouldn't be upset.
If there's one thing that was amazing,
the one thing
about
that Dunkirk did 100% right is probably the cinematography.
The cinematography is gorgeous in that movie.
It really is.
Like Blade Runner 2049, it was beautiful as well. But I gotta give it to Dunkirk, man. That is such every shot. Like okay, this is probably really cheesy to say, but there's scenes in Dunkirk where my mouth fell open because I was just stunned by the beauty of the framed image. I was like, wow, Christopher Nolan and Hoyt van Hoytema, they can shoot a pretty movie. Yeah. Dunkirk is beautiful.
So when it comes down to it, I think Dunkirk will win.
Yes, I very much want it to win.
And you know what? I would be okay with it winning. But
I'd be okay with Blade Runner 2049 as well, because that was also a very beautiful movie.
Honestly, I'd be okay with any of these.
Right.
And like I said, I don't know much about Mudbound, but I'd be okay with it.
Darkest Hour was surprisingly well shot as well. I wouldn't call it like... I would be a little disappointed if it won because it doesn't deserve it as much as Dunkirk or Blade Runner or Shape of Water even, but it wasn't ugly. It was well shot. I liked quite a few shots in it, so.
Yeah. Original screenplay.
Original screenplay, we've got... Okay, here's going to be a big problem about us talking about this. I haven't seen Get Out. I also haven't seen The Big Sick.
You haven't seen Lady Bird either, have you?
I haven't seen Lady Bird.
So I've seen none of these but The Shape of Water, but that automatically gets my vote, so there you go.
I've only seen... Okay, so it's The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards. You want Shape of Water to win. It's the only one I've seen in this list, but I personally think it's going to... I want it to go to, like, Get Out, simply because I know Get Out's, like, nominated for Best Director, and I want Best Director to go to either Paul Thomas Anderson or Christopher Nolan, just because I'm biased. But
we'll get there.
Yeah. It'll probably be 3 Billboards or Get Out or The Big Sick, I think.
I really want to see The Big Sick.
I hear it's good.
I have too.
Yeah. Okay. Adapted screenplay, we got Call Me By Your Name, The Disaster Artist, which I think this is the only nomination Disaster Artist got. I could be wrong about that. Logan.
That one's got my vote on it.
Molly's Game and Mudbound. Again, there's a lot of awards for Mudbound.
Yeah, no, and like I said, Mudbound has been, popping up everywhere lately.
I should see that.
As far as adapted screenplays go, I've read some of the Old Man Logan comics. I love them, but I love this movie even more. So as far as a movie that's been adapted that I've seen, that I know, it's going to Logan. But then again, it's literally the one, there's 2 movies on this I've seen, which is The Disaster Artist and Logan.
Right.
And I think Logan should win over Disaster Artist, actually, which I know is not going to be what most people are going to say.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Really?
Just because I didn't like Disaster Artist all that much when it comes to, like, the writing.
But otherwise, I would be just as happy with Call Me By Your Name winning or Mudbound winning.
Yeah, Call Me By Your Name, I want it to win all the awards because it's just such a it's a bold movie,
But if Logan does end up winning, that is a big step for comic book movies across the board to hopefully be put into the hands of more experimental directors.
Logan was not a comic book movie. It was like...
Not really, no.
It was a real drama.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
It had some typical comic book tropes, but in the end, that movie ended up being way more emotional and intense than any comic book movie.
Logan's fantastic, and I hope it wins, like, several awards.
Yeah,
Even though I don't think it's nominated for that many.
I don't think it'll win, unfortunately. I want it to, but I don't think it will.
Okay. I'm right there with you. I'm thinking it's going to go to, like, Call Me By Your Name or Molly's Game. Because Molly's Game is written by Aaron Sorkin, so...
Who's Aaron Sorkin?
He wrote the Social Network, I believe.
Oh, I like that movie.
So, yeah. Animated short. Haven't heard of any of these.
Oh, let me see.
Dear Basketball, Garden Party, Lou, Negative Space, Revolting Rhymes.
Have I heard of Negative Space? I may have heard of Negative Space.
I haven't heard.
I'm voting Negative Space.
I'm going Revolting Rhymes because that sounds pretty nice. Animated feature. I'm sick and upset about this.
No,
category.
I'm so ready for the Boss Baby to win.
Okay, look. If you're not gonna nominate Your Name, but you're gonna nominate Boss Baby and Ferdinand, a movie which, and this is true, is about a talking bull narrated, like, voiced by John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I am so livid about Your Name not getting nominated.
Yeah.
Like,
I think this will probably go to Coco.
Sadie said this in... Oh, no, it's going to Coco, hands down.
Yeah.
You think it's going to The Boss Baby?
What's Loving Vincent?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk about that, too. The nominees are The Boss Baby, The Breadwinner, Coco, Ferdinand, Loving Vincent. Loving Vincent is, I believe, the first movie animated by oil painting, which sounds sweet. It sounds really cool, so I want to see that. I'm going to say, just because like it would be boring if Coco got it, because it's a big Disney movie.
I've totally heard about this.
Right, yeah, I want to see it. I want that win, just for concept alone. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
But no, it's going to Coco, hands down. Like, I would be extremely surprised if it goes to any of these others. But yeah, no, it's just... the way Sadie put it, basically she says... And I agree with her. I hadn't really thought of it like this, but I agree with her, and it's kind of upsetting. She says, like, the way they judge the animated category is, like, what movies their kids liked.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Which is upsetting. Because look at your name.
I mean, The Breadwinner. I've actually heard of The Breadwinner. I just looked it up. It's supposed to be really good. I actually do want to watch that along with Loving Vincent and Coco. Meanwhile, Boss Baby and Ferdinand can die.
Yeah.
I would rather watch Sing Again. Was that this past year or was that last year?
I think this was this past year.
Yeah, that one should have been in there instead of Ferdinand or Boss Baby. God.
Seriously,
awful.
Okay, look,
this list is awful.
I'm still caught up on Your Name, because Your Name.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Is better than any movie on this list. I don't even need to see Coco, and I can tell you that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Seriously crazy good. And everybody wanted it. Like, there's so much buzz about it. They were like, we want Your Name to be nominated.
Why isn't the new Dragon Ball movie on?
Like, was there one after the one that I have?
I think so.
Was it this last year?
I think so.
Why isn't that up there?
I heard it was awful.
I heard people talk about the new Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale movie. And apparently it's, like, not terrible, but apparently people wanted to get nominated. I'm like, that's not getting nominated. Are you kidding me?
But then again, Ferdinand and Boss Baby got nominated, so why not?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all a toss-up.
It's just like, look, if every movie on here was, like, phenomenal, and it was like, okay, there just wasn't room for Your Name, I would be okay with it. But they nominated Boss Baby over Your Name? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They nominated Ferdinand... John Cena over Boss Baby?
Yeah.
No, over Your Name. Anyway, this is going in circles. I'm upset. Again, I'm upset about animated feature. I really am.
You're a 20-year-old man who has looked at animation in a light other than, these are kids' films.
Right, yeah.
You know, this isn't.
But then again, I don't think Breadwinner is really a kids' movie. I don't think Loving Vincent is really a kids' movie. So clearly, like, they show some appreciation for, like, actual art, but Your Name is just. But to be fair, Your Name, despite being very good, isn't like. Doesn't really feel like Oscar material, but the point is, it's so good. No, it feels more like Oscar material than Boss Baby, so I'll give you that.
Oh,
but it's just like Your Name. Wait. It's so Japanese.
We need to think about this for a minute. What if Boss Baby wins an Oscar?
It won't.
Wait. But what if?
Look, I said that about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad won an Oscar, so anything can happen. No, it's going to Coco. Like, I'm like 100% sure it's going to Coco.
I know, but just imagine a world where Boss Baby wins an Oscar.
Oh, that would be the worst. You know what sucks is this was a really bad year for animation for the most part, and then we got Your Name, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, it's been like the animation has been redeemed. Your Name is such a good movie, and it doesn't even get an nomination."
Yeah. All right.
Whatever. The Oscars are a joke. All right, let's keep going.
So this one,
Dunkirk.
No.
Best Director.
I don't want Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan to win, or Paul Thomas Anderson.
Well, okay, let's run down the list. We got Dunkirk with Christopher Nolan.
Get Out
with Jordan Peele.
Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig. Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson. The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro.
Now,
it's going to go to Get Out. I know that for a fact.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this list, and there's only one person on this list I don't know, and that is Greta Gerwig.
Greta
Gerwig?
Greta Gerwig.
Greta, I can't see it from here, but
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I don't think I've ever heard the name.
Yeah.
So it's cool that that's getting recognition.
Here, I'll do you a solid and I'll zoom in.
Oh, thank you very much, Boyle. Then again, it probably won't help with my English.
Yeah.
But you know,
is that better?
Yeah.
Cool.
But you know, I'm glad that is on there, even though I haven't seen the movie. I also haven't seen Get Out, so as far as directing goes, I can't tell you anything about it.
I think it'll win because
And it might.
Here's the thing about Get Out is by a black man, and this needs to be addressed. There's a recent thing with and okay. Before anybody calls me racist, all right,
Colin's racist.
I am racist. Everybody knows this about me, but
Can't just say that.
no.
I can say that. You can't say that.
Here's the thing.
Yeah? What's the thing?
I think somebody's eligibility for an Oscar should be completely detached from their race.
Oh, by far.
That's just logical. Like, their race has nothing to do with their ability to make
Not
a
at all.
movie.
Well, I mean, this goes for everything.
Yeah, it's all over. Like, race doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Anybody from any race can do anything, is my belief.
Yeah, any race, any sex, any gender, any...
exactly. It's
any
not
anything.
Not
Like,
even a race thing. It's
if you're a
everything.
person, you're equal, period. And
Right.
that's not how people should be judged across the board.
Yes.
And the fact that this is a thing that we have to worry about within the Oscars, you know, within any of these award programs,
and see,
is kind of disgusting.
Here's the thing: is Jordan Peele is black, and Get Out as a movie is very much about racism. It's very anti-racism, as I understand. I haven't seen it. Apparently the whole theme of the movie is, like, you just watch the trailer and you're like, this movie is about racism, and it looks very interesting.
Well, because the whole concept of the movie is there's a new black man in a very, very white family.
Right, yes. And it's just like the problems that causes.
And the title's called Get Out, so...
Yeah. Yes. And it's a horror movie, so...
Yeah.
So... And that is great, and I love movies like that. Like, I love movies that, like, talk about, like, social norms and, like, how, like, racism affects people. But here's the thing: Get Out, as I understand, is, like, just an okay movie. I hear it's like, I've heard very varying degrees of, like, its quality. I haven't seen it. I should see it before I really talk about it. But basically, the idea that the Oscars could nominate someone like Jordan Peele for, like, they could give it to Jordan Peele simply because he's black and he made a movie about racism to appear not racist
is by far more racist than
that makes them look more racist, but
Yeah.
that's absolutely how they think.
Yeah.
Like, see,
Of course.
and see, he's like, I could be portrayed as the racist one for saying, like, oh, you're saying don't give it to the black guy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying give it to the person who deserves it regardless of race. Like,
Yeah.
if you give it to the black guy by default, it's like, oh, you deserve this because you're not white. It's like, that's very...
That's not okay either.
That's like so far into anti-racism that it's like becomes racist again. Where it's just like, it's like overcompensating, you know?
Yeah.
So this is probably a very controversial subject. And I understand, like, you know, like, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't get it because he's black, obviously. It's like, he should get it if he deserves it. I don't know if he deserves it. Like, I haven't seen the movie, but maybe I should. I should very much see it before I talk about this.
But no.
Maybe it is the best movie in the list. I don't know. Who knows?
It very well could be. But you are touching on a very, big subject when it comes to these awards.
Yeah.
Awards in general always seem to run into this issue because you have a bunch of really old white men sitting in their box going, I think we should have this black man win this year. You know,
exactly.
It's like, really,
it's so old fashioned.
Yeah, it's
like
not,
in their attempts to
be
progressive. It's just like it's demeaning.
Yeah, it's very upsetting.
It is upsetting. So if Get Out wins, see, and I ran into this last year where it's like Moonlight. Fortunately enough, Moonlight, which did win Best Picture, contrary to popular belief. Moonlight is a very, very African American centric movie. There's like pretty much everyone is it's about the struggles of growing up gay in a African American neighborhood. That's what Moonlight is about. However, it's also an amazing movie. So in that case, I was okay with it, but it's like there was that little thing in my head was like, did Moonlight win because of its merits as a movie, or did it win because it was so racially charged?
Yeah,
I don't know, and that the fact that I don't know is kind of it's bad. They should just flat out say it's like, okay, you know what? And it's just like when the whole like, and this is a reactionary movement from the whole like Oscars so white thing, like the whitewashing of Hollywood, which I never got that, because it's like if the movies are consistently great, like what does the race of the people behind it matter? Like the fact that they were like predominantly white, it's just. But
I mean, that's the thing, is people that were of different colored descent, they were getting blocked out.
The good thing that came from that is the fact that we got an insurgence of movies that were like great, like Moonlight, that were about race struggles.
Yeah, which
that was good. That was good. Like that was a good positive outcome of this whole thing. But it's like the fact that the Oscars are now like, okay, let's just choose politically rather than choosing like based on quality. That's not good.
I mean, but this happens all the time, everywhere. It's gonna happen until racism just isn't a thing anymore.
Right, exactly.
Like, and that's not gonna happen for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's part of a bigger struggle.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big topic, and I wasn't really intending to get into it, but it's like when talking about the Oscars, you kind of have to bring it up these days.
Yeah. So as far as director go, I haven't seen Get Out or Lady Bird.
My guess is it's going to Get Out for aforementioned reasons, but I will tell you this: I'm going to watch Get Out, and I will say in a future podcast if I think it's like worthy of best picture or not.
Yeah,
like
same thing with Lady Bird. We'll get to that too.
No, and Call Me by Your Name. Like all of these, I want to see all of them.
See, that's the thing. So as far as this list goes,
I said best picture. I meant best director.
Yeah. As far as this list goes, for best director, we have Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, and Shape of Water. And out of the three that I've seen, all three of them could get it, and I'd be okay. Yeah. Christopher Nolan, Paul Thomas Anderson, and Guillermo del Toro. Any of them could get it, and I'd be okay.
I'm basically with you on that one.
Yeah.
And and
the other two, I have no clue. I haven't seen their movies.
So, yeah. I think Get Out will win, but I'd like Dunkirk or
Shape of Water to win.
Personally, I would go Phantom Thread or Dunkirk, but...
My top two is Phantom Thread and Shape of Water.
Okay, fair enough.
Shape of Water leading, because Guillermo's my man.
Now, supporting actress... I cannot really say a lot for this, because here's the thing. We got Mary J. Blige in Mudbound. I haven't seen it. Allison Janney in Tanya, I haven't seen it. Leslie Manville in Phantom Thread. She was amazing. I want her to win. Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird. Haven't seen it. And Octavia Spencer, The Shape of Water. I don't think she deserves it. What do you think of that?
Leslie Manville, was she
was the
black-haired...
Yes.
Like assistant?
Yes.
Oh, God, she was really good.
She was very good.
Yeah, I want her to win.
Octavia's
my second.
There's that scene later on in Phantom Thread where, like, he starts to turn his frustration towards her, and she was like, "Don't you dare!
I will kill you in your sleep, and then I will leave this place, and you'll never hear me again."
I believe the line was like, "Don't pick a fight with me, because at the end it'll be you on the floor, not me."
Yeah, I'm gonna go right through you. And it's like,
God! I heard that line. She's like, "I will go straight through you," and I heard that line. I was like, Ooh.
Yeah, she was so good. Yeah,
I was like,
she gets it in my book.
She's like out acting Daniel Day-Lewis in this scene. I was like, she is very, very good.
Yeah, so she gets it in my book
for sure.
I like Octavia though, and
Octavia
I know
Spencer is like
you're not
as
too hot on
like
her.
she, yeah, no. Again, it's not a race thing. The very fact that I need to point that out is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's like it's very much not a race thing. As a character actor, like she plays a character that just doesn't really resonate with me.
Next thing I know, you're gonna be like, I have a black friend.
I'll have you know, I have 2 black friends.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Wow. We just turned this into the actual Oscars.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But no, you've never really been a huge fan of hers.
I've never.
You liked her better in this one though than you did the others.
Yeah. She still annoyed me a little bit, but like not as much as usual.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Leslie Manville.
Maybe it's just that personality that she has.
It could be.
Because I can't see you getting along with people
like that. She's like.
I wasn't gonna say that because that sounds terrible, Colin.
No, people.
You're not helping yourself.
People like that. Like people like her. Like
very talkative. Very.
Yeah. She is the polar opposite of me.
Yeah, kind of. And that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say like that because that sounds like the worst thing.
Yeah, it's just like I wanted to like Octavia in this movie, but I don't particularly like people like that. So
God damn it, Colin. You know, you're making.
I know I don't particularly like those people.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god, you're gonna have to like get rid of this episode.
I'm joking.
I
I'm very
know.
clearly joking.
I know, but some people, you know, they don't
I know
get
that's
that.
true.
Oh wow!
It's those people that you should never say. It's just
it really
so bad.
is. When you
it's
say
like,
those people,
it's like, oh,
and
no.
by those people we mean talkative,
Yeah.
extroverted,
Exactly. Yes.
overly inside other people's personal bubbles, kind of.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not.
Yeah, like people persons. I don't like people persons.
That was just so funny.
Let's say supporting actor William Dafoe.
As far as I know, Colin's not a racist. I just want that on record.
Oh no. I am very inclusive. I'm definitely not a racist.
Yeah.
But there's like I have this joke persona that's an extreme racist. It kind of
That's not something that's good. You shouldn't. Oh my God,
it kind of
Colin.
surfaced in the Digibaka days, I think, where it was like, it was just like, look, if those people want to live in this country, that's
Oh
fine.
my
I just
God,
don't want my
God.
daughter dating them.
Oh my god. Why are you?
Because I like really awful humor.
I get it.
Like, it's just really bad. Look. I like how this very serious discussion of racism ended with us
Oh my god.
laughing about racist humor. But yeah, no, seriously, racism's bad.
Obviously, that's why we laugh at it, is because it's obviously so bad.
Yeah,
that
you know.
can't understand why people would make it a real thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, yeah. Oh, are you crying?
Yeah.
I'm crying too.
My eyes are just pouring.
Supporting actor, we got Willem Dafoe. I'm just moving it right along.
Whoa,
here.
William Dafoe. I like him.
I like him. I like Woody Harrelson. He's in 3 Billboards. He looked pretty funny in the trailer.
Oh, I know who you're gonna pick for this one though.
We got Richard Jenkins, my man from Shape of Water.
Your new man.
This is my first like definite Shape of Water pick, which is surprising because I thought I quite liked Shape of Water, but apparently I didn't like it as much as I thought I did.
Well, I mean, think of the other movies that came out.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
year.
It has such strong competition.
I know.
Any other year, Shape of Water would be like, ooh.
Yeah.
This was such a great year.
It
for
was.
movie-
It was really
movies. Like seriously, there's so many amazing movies that came out this year. But yeah, no, Richard Jenkins is my pick for sure because he's amazing.
Yeah, Richard Jenkins all the way.
Like,
I still haven't seen Three Billboards, as said before, or All the Money in the World.
Christopher Plummer, that's an interesting pick because he replaced Kevin Spacey in that movie.
That's true. We did talk about that.
Yeah. So
I hope he did well.
I hear he did like better than Kevin Spacey did.
Good.
That's what I hear about him. So
and as far as the Florida Project, I still want to see that.
Oh, I really do too.
That's
It's an A24,
so we will.
We could just straight up see it next week if we wanted to. I guess it's your pick, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Do you want to switch it?
Oh, did you already pick? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did The Captive. Never mind. Maybe I'll pick it next week or something. I don't know.
All right.
Sorry.
We're still doing The Captive.
Yeah, we're still doing The Captive. Sam Rockwell, Christopher Plummer, Richard Jenkins, Woody Harrelson, Willem Dafoe. I'm going Richard Jenkins. I don't know who will win.
Oh, I don't know either.
Probably something like Woody Harrelson or something. I don't know. Maybe to Willem Dafoe. I think Willem Dafoe's probably a shoo-in, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
it. Yeah, they'd give it to Willem
I like
Dafoe.
him, so...
I could see them giving it to Willem
Then again,
Dafoe.
I like Woody Harrelson, too, so...
Yeah.
And I know Woody Harrelson's kind of the one that splits crowds. Some people really like him, some people really don't.
You hate him, yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him, too. We got lead actress, Sally Hawkins. I want Sally Hawkins to win for Shape of Water.
That's my vote.
Frances McDormand. I want her to win, too, just because I love Frances McDormand. Margot Robbie. I love Margot Robbie, and apparently she was great in I, Tonya. Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse... It's like Ronan.
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird. She seems like she was pretty good in it. Meryl Streep. I'd rather her not win it because Meryl Streep's just Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
She's just good, but she's just Meryl Streep. Let's get someone new in here,
Let's
guys.
mix it up a little.
Let's mix it up.
I'd love Sally Hawkins to win.
I would love her to win too. But I would be fine with any of the other ones because
actually,
as even though I haven't seen Three Billboards or I, Tonya or Lady Bird, I know of these actresses and they're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie was in Suicide Squad. That was unfortunate, but I believe she is a good actor. So
I haven't seen her in anything other than Suicide Squad.
I saw. Oh yeah, right. You haven't.
She was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, so she was good in that.
All right.
And I hear she's great in I, Tonya.
I've heard I, Tonya is phenomenal. Yeah.
I really need. There's so many movies I need to see.
I know, man.
It's like the movies I have seen are amazing, and there's so many good ones I haven't seen.
I know.
Like this year, man.
Like The
there's so
Post.
much stuff to watch. Yeah, let's not.
I agree.
I don't care about The Post.
Exactly.
And I would like it to not win any awards, so these boring, just lazy Oscar bait movies can stop happening.
That's how I felt about Dunkirk.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So
Got him.
You thought Dunkirk was like boring Oscar bait? I thought
Kinda.
it was like a cinematic achievement. And you're over here like
I felt it was very Oscar baity.
I guess I can see that.
Yeah.
I guess.
But
I
think it has.
I loved it a lot.
I think it does have some merit. Don't get me wrong.
All right.
You know, I do believe it has merit behind it, but I do
No, Meryl
feel...
Streep's in a different movie.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's also in Locke. Fuck you. But no, like it has its merit, but I do feel Christopher Nolan's like, I want to go for the Oscar this year.
Oh, we've got 2 categories left.
Well, let's hit them.
Lead actor. Okay, so we got Timothy Chalamet, Call Me by Your Name, Dana Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, Denzel Washington, Roman J. Israel Esquire. Question:
Ooh.
Did you know Denzel Washington did a movie this last year?
I did, yeah.
I had no clue.
You didn't know he did Roman J. Israel Esquire?
I have no idea what that is.
You haven't heard of this?
No, and I keep up
I've
to
been
date.
wanting to watch this for a while.
I keep up to date with my movies. I have no clue what that is.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't heard of of his existence until reading this list earlier today. I was like, he did a movie that was last year? Seriously, I just did not know about it.
I knew a movie that Colin didn't. That's like amazing.
Yeah.
I've actually wanted to see it. It sounded very interesting. So yeah.
Cool.
As far as this list goes, Daniel
for me,
Day-Lewis.
it's like between Gary Oldman and Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like obviously, but like
I have not seen Roman J. Israel Esquire. I've heard it's very good. So I'd like to see it before I make any definite things. But let's be honest, I wouldn't be upset with this entire list. Anyway, at all.
Daniel Kaluuya, which is like I that's the black guy from Get Out, I assume.
I heard he did really good.
Yeah, I from the trailer he looked good. I still need to see it. Timothy, he's one of the gay guys in Call Me by Your Name. I actually like from the trailer it's not really apparent who the main character is. So he's one of the gay kids, I'd assume. I
don't know why you said it like that.
Well, it's just like it's about two gay kids.
I know.
He's like
you're like one of the gay guys. I'm just like guys. Okay.
I just when I get excited, the Minnesota accent breaks out.
Oh yeah. Don't you know?
Oh yeah.
You betcha.
Okay. Let's get the rest of this list.
Okie dokie.
Okay, let's get this list over. Let's get the rest of this list over real quick then. You got Daniel Day-Lewis.
Shut up.
You got Gary Oldman.
Oh, I bet they like Ludafisk, huh?
Oh yeah. Why?
I don't know. It got me.
Alright,
I got my own joke.
I'd be cool if Gary Oldman or Daniel Day-Lewis.
I'm sorry, you just have to give me a minute. You keep talking.
That wasn't the...
I know, it's not a joke. I'm still caught up on Ludafisk, man.
Okay. I hate Ludafisk is such an intrinsically Minnesotan thing.
It is.
It's the worst.
It's
I've never had Ludafisk.
Have you ever ate a hot dish?
Oh yeah,
Why are we doing this?
My aunt made a hot dish the other day. Let me tell you, it had tater tots in it. Tater tot hot dish. That's the national dish. Oh yeah.
Oh no!
I tell you, they're selling tater tot hot dish, pounded tater tot hot dish for $3. Down at the good old store, down at the general store.
$3. Oh.
$3. I was trying to think, do we have like a slang for like currency? But we do not. $3. We say bucks. We say bucks more often than dollars, I think.
$3. That's so funny. It's so funny.
Okay, seriously though,
Gary and I should watch Fargo.
Oh yeah, it's
Shut up, man.
It's just like that.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we got
love that.
Gary Oldman and Daniel Day-Lewis.
My favorite one was my aunt.
my aunt.
My aunt.
My aunt cooked some quick set tater tot.
Oh, my aunt cooked up a real good hot dish.
For those who aren't Minnesotan, hot dish is casserole.
Yeah.
We call casserole hot dish here, I guess.
Except hot dish is always better than casserole.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
I know.
I'm also drinking some pop right now. It's not called soda. It's called pop.
It's true.
Yeah.
And when you go to a store, you ask for Coke, and you expect a Coca-Cola, not anything else.
No, it's like there's some places you get a Coke, and they're like, what kind? We just call like pop Coke sometimes.
I don't.
I've heard people
in
do
Minnesota?
That. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I hate you. See, that was more of a southern thing, I thought.
Is it? I don't know. I've heard it like in small pockets. Maybe it's not like a general Minnesota thing. Anyway, we're talking about
Maybe
Oscar.
It's a country thing. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Oscar nominations. Daniel Day-Lewis When I saw Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour, I was like, "There's no way anybody can top this because he's so good in it."
He was very good.
And then I saw Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread, and I'm like,
yeah, he was really good in that.
I could go either way because they're both extremely good, and this is Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie. As our friend Chiefy pointed out, he was saying, what did he say? Well, Daniel Day-Lewis has gotten plenty of Oscars over his career, so the fact that this is his last movie, they may not feel as entitled to, like, give him one.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
it's a good send-off.
It's a good send-off. He was very good in it.
And well-deserving.
Yes, for sure. I mean, he's such a good actor. But Gary Oldman, if he got it, I would be
just as happy.
Just fine with that, because he's also amazing.
Denzel Washington, I really like him. I haven't seen Roman J. Israel Esquire, but...
he's really hit or miss for me. I saw Fences, and it was just like...
that one you said was Oscar bait.
Yes, and it's not my thing. It's just like, the whole time I was just like, it's just not for me. It's just not the kind of movie I enjoy.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just boring.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what Oscar bait is.
He was good in it, to be fair. He's a good actor. It's just like, as a movie, Fences just did not do it for me. Okay. Big in one time.
Big in one time. Got it.
Let's get this over real quick then.
Big in one time. Here we go.
Best Picture. Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, otherwise known as just... nobody's surprised by this list. Like, it's just like every movie that people watch and they're like, oh, this feels like it could be a Best Picture. It's just, they're all on there.
You want to run down top picks? Because I think ours are going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Except you'll have Dunkirk in there.
Honestly, I don't know if I will.
Top picks, like the ones you'd be okay with.
The Shape of Water is quite high.
I want that one to win,
obviously. As an overall film, The Shape of Water, if it won, I'd be cool with that. In fact, I'd be kind of surprised, because I don't think it will win.
I don't think so either, but I want it to.
But I would like it to, and, yeah. I gotta go with Phantom Thread, though.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
I just...
second runner for me.
And actually, like, Roberto was talking about Phantom Thread. He said he was surprised that it was even nominated. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a movie featuring a legendary director starring, like, the most legendary actor, and it was amazing. It was really good.
But once again, this is for film buffs.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah.
But, and it's weird to think that it's like, we're talking about the Academy here. Surely they're the biggest film buffs of all, but it's like, that is not the case.
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby. Boss Baby is nominated for Best Animated Feature. I would like to... Suicide Squad won an Oscar last year. Just like to mention that real quick.
Yeah. So, we're sitting in a very strange world already.
So, yeah. Yeah. I would love Phantom Thread to win, but I think... it's really hard to pick. If The Post gets it, I'll be upset.
With not having seen it, I'd be okay with 3 Billboards getting it. I'd be okay with Call Me By Your Name getting it. I'd be okay with Get Out getting it.
I'm going to go with 3 Billboards. I think 3 Billboards is going to get it, personally. I just feel like it's going to get it.
Yeah.
Phantom Thread, like, for me, is just like, it's just so my thing. Like, I can understand if somebody could see it and they'd be like, woof, how pretentious.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so good. I loved it so much. I'm guessing 3 Billboards or Shape of Water for what will happen. And I'd be cool with either of those. Honestly, I'd be cool with any of these except The Post. The only reason... I'm upset The Post is nominated, even though everybody knew it would be, because that means I have to watch it. I'm going to watch all the Best Picture nominations. And I'm probably going to watch a few that aren't Best Picture nominations. But since it's a nomination, it means I got to watch it. So I actually did that last year. It was my first year ever watching every Best Picture nomination. Mm-hmm. And I liked it. There was a couple, like, Hidden Figures that I really wished I hadn't seen. And I'm glad they didn't win like anything for that movie. Fences I didn't like either, but the rest of them were pretty good. Lion wasn't that good. It wasn't a good year for movies last year, I'll say that.
Suicide Squad won an Oscar last
Suicide
year.
Squad won an Oscar. Yeah.
Once again, I don't want Dunkirk to win Best Picture.
I don't think it will. I definitely don't think it will.
Strictly, I mean, okay, so here's my stance on it. If a movie is strictly trying to do anything Oscar baity, it automatically makes me to not have that picture win an Oscar.
See, it's just like, that's where I disagree with you about Dunkirk, because it didn't feel very Oscar baity to me.
I don't know.
It felt more like a cinematography like showcase. It didn't have that like really ham-fisted like message and point that like, and like it didn't have the like melodramatic character development that you like associate it with like Oscar bait movies. It was just down and dirty, just like quality filmmaking. No pretension, no like,
I don't know, man.
No holds barred. It was just, yes, it's the kind of movie that typically gets like nominated for a bunch of stuff, but it's like,
it felt like Christopher Nolan's like, I'm done with Batman. Maybe I'll win an Oscar this year.
I suppose.
Like, that's just what it felt like. I was sitting there in the theater thinking, wow.
I guess. I don't know. Like,
You know?
because it's like, yeah, his first attempt after Batman was Interstellar, and that's not what I'd call an Oscar movie. It was just like this kind of schlocky sci-fi movie. And this is like a kind of a more like it took itself very seriously. I guess Interstellar took itself very seriously too, but it was just so ridiculous. The ending was just so insane. This was kind of grounded and took itself seriously, and it was just about a war.
But you know what? I don't really know Christopher Nolan other than Batman, so
right.
Have you seen?
He did one of my favorite movies, Memento.
I did see Memento. Memento's phenomenal.
Yeah. He also did The Following, which was also very good.
I didn't see The Following.
It was black and white, and it's just kind of, yeah.
All right.
It reminds me of Pi, except without the psychological elements.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not going to Dunkirk. I don't think it's going to Dunkirk, but I'd like it to go to Shape of Water or Three Billboards. Those are my two picks.
Fair enough.
My major pick is Phantom Thread, but I don't think Phantom Thread's going to get it just because it deserves it and therefore it won't get it. Like, I thought, like Phantom Thread deserved it, and then The Post got it. Other generic Oscar bait movie, Spotlight got it. And,
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, The Post seems to be like the biggest issue with these lists. That and Boss Baby and Ferdinand.
Who knows? Maybe I'll see The Post and I was just mistaken about it. Maybe I'll see it and it'll be just great. But it's going to take a lot to win me over.
Just wait. Someday you'll decide that you're going to watch this entire list and then you'll watch Boss Baby.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen, actually. Believe it or not, I have no interest in watching Boss Baby.
Really? But it was nominated.
That's true. It was nominated for an Oscar. I can rest easy knowing that it won't win, but still, in the recesses of my mind, I'll always remember that time they nominated Boss Baby for Best Animated Feature.
Yeah.
Why stop there? Why did they not nominate Sing or Despicable Me 3?
I mean, Sing wasn't that bad, though.
I guess. I saw a video essay explaining why Sing is, terrible, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say.
I mean, as far as animated films go, it certainly wouldn't be anywhere close to the top of my list.
Sing's got the deck stacked against it because it's by Illumination, isn't it?
I don't remember.
I believe so. It's by Illumination who did the whole Minions thing.
Yeah.
The Minions Despicable Me stuff. Yeah. Or was it not? Was it Secret Life of Pets that they did? It might have been Secret Life of Pets. Or what?
It could have been both. Because I think it's both, because I think this was the first year they released 2 movies.
Well, they also did Despicable Me 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was that this year?
I think so. Who cares?
You're right.
Who cares?
What are we talking about?
Anyway,
Moving on.
Moving on to the
Actually,
end of the episode.
Before we stop talking about Sing, there is one good thing that came out of Sing. I am now listening to I'm Still Standing by Elton John a lot, and that song's great.
Cool.
That's my song of the week. Go listen to it.
All right. Well, we've just went over 2 hours.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry. Although, actually, I think there's a lot of, entertaining stuff in there, so I'm a little more okay with it.
I'm going to go home, and my dad's going to be like, hey, where were you? And I'm going to be like, well, I recorded 2 hours of content.
Yeah?
And he's going to be like, didn't you say you want this one to be a little shorter? And I said, yeah.
Yeah. We even cut out an entire segment, and it was still 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that.
Want to talk about death grips?
No, I'm good. Do you have anything else to say? Otherwise, I'll cut her off there.
Send us some more emails. I've been loving the little bit of research we've had to do.
Yeah, for sure.
This past week was a lot of stuff to do, which, if it does end up being that much all the time, we may have to
a little bit
spread it out a little bit, but I still love it. Please send us more.
Rad stuff.
Multimediaclubcast@gmail.com, which will be put in the description because that's Colin's job. Hopefully.
Yeah, usually. Sometimes I forget.
That's okay.
But usually. Okay, cool. I look forward to not really editing this episode at all because there's no songs of the week and there's nothing I really need to edit out. So
I suppose, yeah.
Cool.
So I guess we'll catch y'all later on the next one.
Catch you on the flip side.
Multimedia Club out.